You said it was a farmhouse,
Yeah.
and you talked about the farmland around you. Can you describe that a little bit?
Well, when we moved in, there was no farmland. It was already
it was all developed.
yeah, it was all developed. We had the daughter of who used to live in our house, she had come one time. She had never been in that house. It was like her grandparents or something that had lived in the house. And she'd only remembered some pictures of it, and she said she wouldn't have been able to recognize the neighborhood at all. But the house itself she could recognize it. My dad had added on to it and, had it raised, and, there's a few things, tore down the old garage. So there were a lot of changes to the house, but they basically kept it the same color. And even 2 years ago, my mom, we had to have it re-shingled, and she goes, it's always had a red roof, so we will keep it a red roof, which is kind of unusual, to get red shingles. Mm-hmm. So, no, they kept it to the way it was. So
wonderful. And who did live around you? What was the community like around you? The development of Britannia Youngstown.
Pretty well. Everybody had 5 kids. That's what it felt like. I think my parents met and started having kids a bit late, so I think most of the neighborhood that had kids our age, the mums and dads were a little bit younger. But we all took swimming lessons together, and we played like our games spanned several blocks. Like if we were playing kick the can, we didn't stay in 1 yard. We spread out 2 blocks. And if there was going to be a football game or a baseball tag kind of game, we all would call across the street and say, meet you at the field, which was, it's on 160th Street and between 103rd and 102nd. There's just like 2 or 3 lots that are open, and it's stayed that way forever, and it's always been known as the field. I'm sure it has an official park name, but there's no sign there saying it or anything.
And is it still a park area?
Yeah. They've turned it into an open dog park now. Okay. And you know what? You don't see kids playing in there anymore. Our parents, if they didn't know where we were, they knew we were there. That it was always just filled with kids playing games, and it was great. Yeah, I feel sorry for today's kids,
And so it was mostly single houses, large families.
Yeah.
And what kind of, do you remember the population? Who moved in there? What was the composition?
We knew all the families on our block. Mrs. Rand, she taught everybody piano lessons, and Mr. and Mrs. Heinecker, they named all their kids. All the girls started with the letter C, and all the boys were the letter D. Mr. Stewart was one of the teachers at our elementary school. I have a fond memory in that going to school, whoever was farthest away would pick up the first person and then pick up the next one and next one. And by the time we were a block away from school, we would all be arm in arm. And I don't know if you remember, we are pals, pals are we? We would, and then I don't know if you've seen, but if when you walk, you step over top of the next person's leg, right? And so we would go down down the street, heading to school, singing, we are pals, pals are we? And and doing the funny walk. I mean, we didn't do that every day, but it was kind of, everybody knew everybody over like 3 or 4 blocks that heading to school.